guys! Okay, can you guys hear me? This is a bit of a different sort of setup situation. Also, this music is sad. This music is too sad. Maybe it's cozy. Maybe for some of you guys you're like, the music isn't sad, the music is cozy. But I'm like, I have better music in here. Oh yes, this is what we want. Let me just make sure it's not too loud. But hi guys, how's it going? Yeah, that may be a little loud compared to me. I want like a dash of music. I don't want like a lot of music. I want a hint of music, you know what I mean? Hello, Fan Liberty Productions, how's it going? So, hold on, yeah, so here's the thing, okay? I have YouTube and Twitch. Some people, they show the YouTube chat and the Twitch chat for their streams. As far as I know, you're not supposed to do that, so I'm just gonna pop out the chat and I'm gonna read them, and if you are watching the VOD and you see something that doesn't seem like it exists, it's probably because it doesn't. Like, it's on the other, you know, on the other chat. I am on Twitch as well. Thank you, Robin, for resubbing on Twitch and saying possibly hiya, but something happened to the message, and so I only see Key's message in the Twitch chat right now. Yes, Chill Vibes are the name of the game for today. It's sort of weird because, like, usually I look at something. Twitch walked back on the no multi-streaming rule, I know that, but to show the chat of the other thing that you're doing is still not allowed, I believe. I think I may... The weird thing is that I'm not looking at anything. Like, I'm looking at chat, but I can't... I don't know, I feel like I need to look into my own eyes. That may be weird. I'm just like, oh, I need to look at myself, so I'm gonna move my, I'm gonna move some stuff over here so I can look at me. Because I need to, I don't know, I feel like that, like, it's weird if I'm just staring directly. I typed hiya and then erase the yeah, Robin says in the Twitch chat. But yes, we are having some chill vibes today. I think I'm finally happy with how things are looking on my end. But yeah, okay, so here's the story, alright? I was gonna stream Little Goody Two Shoes because I don't know if you guys remember, but a while ago, or I guess, I think it was even before Christmas? I don't know. I was streaming Little Goody Two Shoes. And then promptly Little Goody Two Shoes, like, died. Like, the stream died. It was not good. Like, it was not fun. I only got through the tutorial, and then that was it. That's literally all that happened. So, I was gonna stream Little Goody Two Shoes, but here's the thing. So, and this is not, like, to make the stream sad right off the bat or anything, but I don't know if you guys know, but my grandfather passed away a couple months ago, right? But that's not, like, what we're talking about. What we're talking about is, since that happened, I just hear things around the house. Like, I'm kind of paranoid, right? Because all my life, I grew up with both of my grandparents, my sister, and my mom, right? And so there was lots of noise, lots of Italian noise around this house. You know, like, my grandparents were always, like, banging pots and pans around or something, or watching TV, or just talking on the phone in Italian. Like, lots of noise used to happen in this house, right? But my sister is moved out, like, she lives in her own apartment because she's on residence for school. You know, so now it's just me and my mom after all this. So, like, I've been hearing things, and I thought to myself, I was like, I don't think playing Little Goody Two Shoes, even though I've already been through the game and I've seen the jump scares and stuff, I think it would make me more paranoid. And then I was telling Arnold this morning that there's a weird car parked outside of my house, and, like, nobody's in it, so maybe they're just parked. Like, this is a public street, right? Like, you can park wherever you want to. But I was kind of already in the mindset of, I'm gonna get murdered today. So I don't think it was a good idea. I was like, I don't think so. I don't think that we should play Little Goody Two Shoes. Because I was already scared in real life. Like, I was just scared. I was like, oh my god, it's happening. I'm gonna die. And I texted Arnold, like, a picture of the car. And he's like, the car looks pretty normal to me. I don't know what to tell you. So he did not think that I was in any immediate danger or anything. Also, I hope that things are working on you guys' end, just because, you know, I have so many things open that I can't see everything, so please be patient if I miss your message. That happened a couple times in the Has Been stream, And people got really, like, upset that we didn't read their message, and I'm like, it's not because I didn't want to, it's just because, like, sometimes YouTube just eats them, like, just eats the messages, and then we don't see anything. I really love your Coco and Velvet shirt, it's so cute, thank you. That's the other thing, is, like, I wanted to do something today. It's weird to be a female content creator sometimes. I don't know, maybe some men feel like this. If there's any men in the chat, let me know if you feel the same way, but, like, I have outfits depending on, like, the seriousness of what we're doing, and so that was the other thing, is, like, I was dressed for something kind of unserious, like Little Goody Two Shoes, or just, you know, whatever, like, just chilling, like, just a cozy game, right? And then when I didn't want to play Little Goody Two Shoes anymore because I got scared, I was like, I love how someone in chat's like, hello, we have a man. Yeah, so, like, you know, with Arnold, I feel like that he can kind of go on stream and just wear whatever he wants. And I guess I could too, but I'm just very particular. Like, I have categorization of outfits. If I wanted to do something like, for example, I think that when I do get back into the swing of things, in a week or so, like, Has Been Hotel kind of ruined all the plans that I had, just, you know, for my life in general, and so I'm just trying to figure out, like, oh, how are we gonna do this, right? But, like, for Alice, I'm like, I don't want to wear this when I'm streaming Alice. I want to wear, like, a pretty, like, Alice in Wonderland dress, because that's the first thing, like, when you start a new Let's Play or a new series, the first thing that people are gonna see is you. So I kind of have, like, a t-shirt rule for reactions, and, like, stuff that's, like, not that serious. But if I'm gonna start, like, God of War, or Alice Madness Returns, or, like, just a game that, like, will be edited and it's the first thing of a Let's Play, like, I don't know, I want to look cute than just wearing a t-shirt, right? So I do appreciate it, though. I really like this shirt, too, but that's the other reason why I was like, I can't figure out what to do today. Like, it's just one of those ADHD, you get stuck in, like, waiting mode and you can't figure out what you're trying to do, you know? I don't think Arnold has that problem. I think that Arnold can just roll out of bed and stream for the most part. I can't. It'll be easier for me to do that. It'll be easier for me to do that when I have my VTuber model. Zombie in the Twitch chat says, that's fine. Everybody likes to do their own thing. Thank you, because that's the weird thing, is some people are like, Cal, like, that's kind of, like, irrational. Like, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you look for your videos, which, like, it's true, but I don't know. I just like to make a good first impression. Like, I guess first and foremost, I just have that performer mindset. Like, everything we were taught in school is when you go to an audition, unless it's a dance audition, like, wear something nice, right? And so that's kind of the mindset I have for at least the first video in, like, a Let's Play or a reaction or something. Like, the first thing that's gonna happen. I don't want to just be, like, in a Rooster Teeth t-shirt. Oh, what I was gonna say, though, is as a solution to my problem, this is one of my grandfather's canes, and so now, because I'm scared all the time in the house, this is my defensive choice, is the cane, and my mom's like, what are you gonna do with that? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I can talk about that on YouTube, but yeah, so that's my solution. That's why I was telling that story and then I totally got, like, sidetracked. But I think that next week I'm definitely gonna stream the Genshin character demos for sure. And we will get back to Little Goody Two Shoes. I would just prefer to do it when, like, I don't know, like, when there's more activity in the house, like, when there's more, I don't know, things going on. It's the middle of the day, like, I shouldn't be scared, but, like, I don't know, sometimes I get a little scared, you know? So I think that we'll definitely finish Little Goody Two Shoes and do some other stuff. But yeah, Has Been being over, just kind of weird, right? Like, it is sort of strange, because it came and then it went. Like, it was there and then it was gone. Like, we were finally getting in a nice rhythm where I was like, maybe I can have a life, because basically, you know, when Has Been was going on, also, let me know if you guys can hear the music or if it's too low, or I doubt it's too loud, honestly. I doubt it's too high. But with Has Been, it was just a sort of bizarre, I don't know, like a bizarre situation, because as soon as we got into it, and as soon as I was like, yes, we can do this, we can live, we can have life again, like, the show ended. Because basically what happened is that on Friday, like on Fridays, I guess I should say, Hunter and I would record. Then Saturday and Sunday, I would have to edit. And so that was like, when Has Been was going on, you were getting the money. Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's not just that, Robin, but just like, there was 3 days, if we have a 7-day week, right? 3 of my days of the week were just doing Has Been Hotel stuff. And we didn't even get to do theories or, like, discussions or anything. Like, we did not get to do anything. It was just the fact that we had to edit 2 reactions. And yes, I appreciate that, Zombie. Thank you. It's hard too, just to be alone, you know? Like, I've kind of coped with all the other stuff, but just to be, like, to have a house that is so active and so loud and then to go kind of to nothing, that's kind of the weirdness. Like, with everything else, I've mostly come to terms with it. It's just like, I need a dog or something. Like, I'm trying to convince my mom. I would be like, Mom, like, I would be much less depressed if I had a pet. And my mom's just like she's not a big fan of animals. I guess she's afraid that she would have to take care of the animal too. But I'm 24 years old. Like, yeah, that was something she was afraid about when we were kids, when we were little. But now, like, I'm an adult. Like, I think I can handle an animal, right? And it's not like, you know, a goldfish, which is just like sitting around or something. Like, if for example, I forgot to feed a cat or something, that cat is gonna come let you know, right? Like, if I sleep in too long, right, and the cat expects to eat every day at 9 o'clock and I sleep into 11, you bet your ass that that cat is coming up the stairs and it's, like, gonna paw at you, right? So it's not like, you can't forget, I don't think. You cannot forget a living being, so I don't really understand when people are like, oh, you know, our children won't do it or they'll forget to do it. Well, first of all, I'm not a kid anymore, but also, like, how can you forget? You know what I mean? Especially when you don't leave the house. Also, hello, Billy, in the YouTube chat. As I said, we do have 2 chats going on, so YouTube chat, if you're confused, there are people talking in the Twitch chat, of course, and vice versa. Yeah, exactly, like, I would like dogs, you know? Like, I would like to have dogs and, like, I mean, well, I guess I'm more of a cat person. I like cats more. It's not even that I like them more, it's that cats tend to like me more for some reason. Like, I've never met a cat that didn't come around to me, you know? And so I seem to have some sort of cat affinity. I guess it's just because I understand, like, the personal like, oh, you have to give cats personal space and they'll come up to you if they like you. I don't know. Like, I've always been like the cat whisperer. If somebody has a mean cat, like, they're never mean to me. They're apparently mean to their owner, but they're not mean to me. But yeah, we got kind of sidetracked from has-been. I got distracted. But yeah, it was like, okay, so if there's 7 days a week, 3 days were has-been related in terms of editing has-been, and then 1 more day was for the has-been live streams. So that's 4 days, and then I have to take at least 1 day off or I'm gonna go crazy. So that's like 5 days are just has-been kind of related days. And then at that point, we had 2 days left. I was like, what are we doing? I have 2 dogs, but my family has the rest. In total, we have 5 dogs. See, I would be good. Like, I would be good with that sort of setup. Yes, the YouTube chat is cat-centric. Alejandro says that they have 2 cats, and then Emerald says that they are also a cat person as well. I'm glad to hear it, because sometimes, like, I don't know, people will give you looks sometimes if you say that you like cats more. I do like, Robin actually has a dog that's like a little, I don't know what they are. Robin, are you still here? Can you explain to the people what your dog is? Like, it's like the little miniature poodle situation. Yeah, I agree. The pets are good for your health. And so I think that my mom has to come around eventually. I feel like that she'll eventually come around. Yes. Arnold talks about that too, like, oh, like, we'll get a black cat and we'll name it Morgana, like Persona 5. And I think that that's a cute little idea, but I really want a calico, like an orange and calico. Or can calicos only be orange? You guys know what I mean, though. Like a calico cat. Like the one in Barbie Princess and the Pauper. That's the kind of cat I want. Calavier, Spaniel, and Poodle mix. 2 of these. Yeah, like that's sort of like, I like the little dogs. Arnold likes huskies. I'd be okay with a husky, but I want, like, I don't know, just a little tiny. Hunter presented a very interesting idea a couple of years ago, and this is like a deep cut. I don't know if you guys will even remember this, but Hunter put forth that there are dogs that act like cats, cats that act like cats, dogs that act like dogs, and cats that act like dogs. And so I think for me, I want a dog that kind of is cat-like and not too crazy. Hunter has a crazy dog. I think it's like a full spaniel situation, and it's like a hunting dog. I don't know. It's like one of those, like, the white ones with the long, like, floppy ears, and, like, I don't know, you see them sometimes. Not a hound, but, like, kind of like like a smaller hound looking thing, and like they're kind of furry, but not like really long fur, like very short, curly fur. So I don't know what they are, because I'm not like, you know, I don't understand in terms of like, oh, this dog is a such and such. I'm like, what? Like, I know Golden Retriever, I know Dalmatian. If it was in a Disney movie, like if the dog was in a Disney movie, I know those ones. But as we start to get into more complicated cat situations, I'm like, I don't know. Like a tabby cat? Yeah. Calicos are the ones that have like, just like different color, like fur and stuff. I think they have to be, I think for a calico cat, it needs to be orange, but then it's also like orange and brown, or like orange, brown, and white, and like that's the kind of cats that I like. But I mean, I would take anything. Now my mom is like job searching, so it's not like the best time to have a pet, but you know, I hope that one day when Arnold moves here, or even like, it doesn't even need to be Arnold, like I've talked about this with Hunter, because Hunter, I think I can talk about this. This is probably fine. I don't think that she'll mind. Hunter's sister has moved out of the house, and that now she has a house with her fiance. They just got a house, I think. I saw it on Instagram. So like, I was thinking, I was like, you know, Hunter, like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna move out? Like, do you ever think that you're gonna move out? Because I don't think so, honestly. You know, I don't think that we're gonna move out in terms of me. My sister moved out, and like, she likes that sort of, you know, lifestyle, but I can't really see myself. There was a time when I was like, oh, I would love to buy, we have a cottage up by the lake, and I'd love to buy the cottage, but now there's some whole situations with that, and it doesn't look like, it looks like that, you know, we're gonna have to sell it because of stuff. It doesn't really matter. But the point is that I was like, oh, I can envision Arnold and I living up there. But since that sort of fell through, and like, that's not really happening, I was like, oh, okay. Like, I've kind of come to terms with the fact that, like, this is gonna be our house. We're never really gonna afford property in you know, the greater Toronto. Like, Toronto just has terrible, you know, housing market and stuff like that. And so I just sort of was thinking, I was like, well, Hunter, like, do you think that you're ever gonna move out? And I was like, it'd be kind of fun, like, if you moved in, like, with us, you know what I mean? Like, you know, someday or something, like, cool Aunt Hunter, like, because I like the idea of a multi-generational house, but I don't think that my sister's ever coming back. I think that she's done. Like, I think that she's pretty much, she may for a while, but I think that she's gotten used to living on her own. I like the idea of, like, my mom will always be here, and then my kids will be around my mom and all that stuff, and like, you know, maybe Hunter, I don't know. I mean, Hunter and her family, like, I don't know what they're gonna do. Some people, like, when they retire, they sell their house and move into, like, a one-story house so they can get around easier. And so I'm like, would Hunter live in that big house alone? Or would Hunter come live with me? I don't know. Sorry, well, I was talking so much that I strayed away from our calico conversation, which was, yes, calicos have a tricolored coat. And then Robin said that they always need to be female, and I think that that is true. Like, all calico cats are female cats. And now Zombie in the chat says, when it comes to editing, I can get really overwhelmed, especially doing it every single day and not getting enough sleep. I know, it's terrible. It is terrible. Editing, I hate editing. I hate editing so much, and so I totally relate. I used to Zombie says I used to record, edit, and upload 3 videos a day, and I did it on a school night. I got 0 sleep. Yeah, like, that's how, I mean, you wonder how you did it, right? Because I used to do that too. You know, when Hunter and I first started, we were in high school. Like, we had school all day, and we were still making, like, 40-minute Ruby video. Like, we were still making, like, 5 Ruby videos a week. And, like, even, like, after that, like, I don't know. Like, since I've gone, you know, not intentionally full-time, I'm trying to audition for stuff and just, like, apply to jobs, and I just haven't found one. So it's kind of an intentional, unintentionally a full-time YouTuber. I'm not intentionally a full-time YouTuber. I'm accidentally a full-time YouTuber, right? So, you know, part of me is like, I feel like I was more productive somehow in high school. I don't think that that's actually true. I think that sometimes, you know, especially with editing, you may just get into, like, recency bias. You're like, I was so much more productive, like, such and such years ago, but if you actually looked, it's like, okay, well, I think the reason why Hunter and I used to get our videos out so fast is because we hardly edited them. That's why they actually got out so fast. It wasn't that we were faster and now we suck. Like, it wasn't that like, oh, Cal, you used to be good at editing, what happened to you? It's just that, you know, back in the day, you think you're so productive, and then as your quality standards, you know, you start to have higher standards for yourself, and then it's like, oh, I used to get so much done, why am I not getting as much done? Well, it's because now you actually, like, you're putting more effort into things than you did before. But, that's how I feel about editing recently. Even recording, like, Hunter and I used to record, I think, a lot more. And yeah, exactly, Zombie in the Twitch chat is saying that they've been a YouTuber since middle school, and that's basically like, yeah, like Hunter and I started to do this, well, we started to do it together in grade 11, which I don't know what that is for the Americans or any other country, sorry. Senior, junior, I don't know, the second last year before you graduate high school. But like, I was doing stuff by myself when I was like 14. I think that maybe, yeah, it was like, was it easier back then? I don't actually think so. I think that now I just have higher standards for myself. But yeah, I mean, that's an interesting segue into like, so now what do we do? Like, luckily Ruby's coming back in some capacity, but like, now what? I don't know. I did try a couple things, but they kind of got interrupted by has-been like stuff. Oh my god, what is happening with the little lullaby music? Guys, we're not going to sleep, we're talking, it's okay. Oh good, the circus music, so I can talk about how I'm clowning around and not getting anything done. I did do, like, Dungeon Meshi and, Sign of Affection and something else in, like, a new format. It's just sort of like, I didn't really give that much of a chance just because Has-Been took over. And, like, how do you know if something actually works or not if you only did it for, like, one video? So, I don't know, it's gonna be interesting to figure out, like, oh, what are we gonna do now? I got a very interesting comment. Oh, Freerun, right, like, thank you, Robin, I totally forgot. We tried Freerun and the Owl House and something else. But that was the motion, is I was like, I'll try this in a different format that's easier for me to edit, and we'll see that if people care. And the consensus seemed to be, by the comment section, was that, like, this, if it's easier for me, we're still getting across the same information. Yes, chat is saying it is, in fact, Junior. I did it. I know my Americanisms. But yes. Editing, something about, oh yeah, like, I think that, you know, for Owl House, nobody asked why it was a time sink. Like, nobody asked for Freerun, like, nobody complained, and it wasn't just nobody complained, it's like, there wasn't a significant difference in, like, views or anything either. And, I mean, I don't know why I thought there would be. Like, I know that a lot of people, they do edit their anime reactions, and they have, like, obviously, I never did any audio, but I was just editing the visuals and stuff, but like, a full-length reaction is usually what's behind the paywall. So if, you know, YouTubers like Semblance of Sanity, for example, like, they have a bunch of full-length reactions behind a paywall and they're full-time YouTubers, it's like, okay, well, clearly people want, you know, a full-length reaction is seen as the superior version, because you have to pay for it, you know what I mean? As opposed to, like, the edited YouTube highlights or whatever. So, yeah, like, what I think that I'm gonna do is just, especially for shows that are done, like, I'm just gonna do the time sync, and I'm gonna try to do it that way. Yes, Freerun is very good. I know, I was borderline in tears. I saw a tweet, and it was like, I hate when the found family trope, they split up at the end. And that's how I feel about Freerun, but like, they split up at the beginning, but I haven't gotten any further than the first episode. So the weird things are gonna be Oshinoko, Miraculous Ladybug, which I know there's probably at least one person watching the YouTube stream that is like, what happened to Miraculous? Because I keep getting, every so often, people send me a comment like, what happened to Miraculous? And I'm like, the problem is that, like, I decided to switch into this format, but I have Oshinoko and Miraculous videos before I decided to change the format, and like, for Oceanico, it's kind of fun. Like, I could probably get away with it. I just know that there were some, like, the last episode of Oceanico I remember watching was sort of whack, and so I remember being, like, actually silent for a long time because I didn't know what to say, and to me, I was like, oh, I'll cut all that out. Like, the part where I'm being silent, I'll just cut it, right? And so I kind of know that there's one Oceanico that's scuffed, but Miraculous, I never did them time sync for Patreon. They were always edited. So I know for a fact that there's one Miraculous video hanging around somewhere that's scuffed. And so I think that what I'm gonna do is, like, this week, I think that this week is gonna be, like, cleaning up all the random things that Hunter and I we did it, and it's just sitting there because the editing situation was kind of weird. Like, it was just sort of a weird thing to do. And so I think that, yes, YouTube chat is saying they love the time syncs, thank God, because I don't know what I would do if you guys didn't, because I can't. Every reaction takes me 2 to 3 hours to edit, and that may not seem like a lot, but, like, I don't have the traditional, I try to work for 8 hours a day, like, I try to make this, like, job, right? But, like, that's still not a lot of time when usually it's 3 hours, because that's, like, basically 2 reactions a day, and that's just not, it was not happening, right? And so at least with this, I pray to God that I'll be able to do more than, like, every day it's like I do, like, 3 things, and I'm like, I would like to do, like, I don't know, 5 things. It'd be nice to do 5 things. Or something. Well, usually, sometimes 3 is generous. It's like 2 things. I'll get 2 things done, and I'm like, yes, I did 2 things, and I'm like, we can't keep doing this, bestie. So, oh yes, what I was going to say, though, as I got a very interesting comment. I don't know if you guys know, but I have a different channel now where I break down songs. And it's not just gonna be songs, it's also going to be, like, Disney movies and stuff. Like, why Prince Eric is the most underrated Disney prince or something. Anyway, so it's not just music, right? But, like, I've been doing music videos about the Has-Been music and Wish and Moana and, well, not Moana, but Moana 2 and, you know, Hunter, like, was so tempted during the Has-Been stream last time to be like, and let's talk about Moana 2, because we were ranting, and somebody commented on my other channel, and they were like, Cal, you're too smart to do reaction content. And I thought that was an interesting thing to say, because I know what they meant. Like, I know what they meant. But, like, they were, I don't know, the way that they said it was kind of like that reaction content is like, oh, this is the bottom of the barrel. Like, you should definitely move on to doing this instead, right? And so, you know, that's their opinion, obviously, but I was kind of like, oh, okay. Because I guess, I don't know, I understand why people feel that way. I feel like at least my reaction content's a little different because, you know, I got the spreadsheets and the theories and, like, this is, you know, who the murderer is. Like, I feel like that my reaction content is very analysis heavy, you know? Like, I feel like that it is very much, it's different than just, that person probably is imagining, no tea, no shade, but, like, the sniper wolf, like, or, like, XQC, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the Twitch streamers, right? That are like, we are just sitting here and reacting and whatever. But, like, I like to do, you know, this is the foreshadowing, and this is who killed this person, and this is the symbolism of the direction and the camera angle. Like, I like to break that stuff down as I'm reacting. So I guess I never just, you know, like, I never thought, like, oh, this is, like, the bottom of the barrel. Like, for me, I was like, okay, well, I take this approach, especially with, you know, Migi and Dali. There was so much like, this is the symbolism, and these are like, this is a reference to like an ancient Japanese god, and like this is how it, you know, plays into the story, and like it was never that easy to edit. Like, it was never as easy as this person was saying. Like, it was not as easy to edit at all. It's easy if you're just sitting there and like reacting, but like for me, it was always, oh, I need to cut out, I said something wrong, I need to cut this out, I need to like write myself notes and then give the analysis. And so yeah, like I think, yeah, exactly, Robin. Professional reacts to blank is a popular thing. Yeah, like I see like vocalists reacting to stuff all the time. I was actually thinking like, I was like, oh, maybe I could like give my thoughts on the Wicked trailer on that other channel, but I don't know, it's like blurring the lines at that point. YouTube chat is saying chat time, like a podcast with a chat. Yeah, basically, a lot of the YouTubers I watch, they do like Zatsudan streams, all the VTubers that I watch, and so I was like, okay, we'll do a just chatting. Where's Hunter? She's like living her best life. I actually don't know. Why don't we ask? Why don't we ask Hunter what she's doing today that makes her not free? Because I asked Hunter, I was like, do you want to record today or do you want to record tomorrow? And Hunter said, tomorrow. So I'm like, what is Hunter doing? What are you up to today that you couldn't record? The people want to know. So I'll ask Hunter. I don't know what she's doing. I mean, she's busy, I guess. But yeah, I'll see. I'll investigate. But yeah, like, that comment was interesting, because I know what they mean, and I know what they meant to mean, but, like, I was like, the reaction content, sometimes the music analysis is easier than the reaction content. Like, the reaction content is sometimes very difficult to edit and, like, sort out what exactly we're doing. Austin says, it's only a day away. Hunter probably doesn't envy the YouTube struggle. I think Hunter's in a very interesting position, right? Because, like, obviously I pay her, and I pay her by, how many hours we record together. And then I pay myself by how many hours I edit, right? So, like, basically, I pay Hunter for how much recording she does, and then afterwards, like, I deal with the rest, and then I pay any editors if we have editors on board, basically. So, that's kind of the situation. It's kind of like Hunter kind of has a sweet gig where she just has to show up, be funny, and go home. And, you know, like, when people are talking about us, like, online or whatever, Hunter is hardly ever mentioned, even though Hunter's the one that has done, like, I don't know, has had the spicy take sometimes. It's like, Hunter is not even a thought in people's minds, you know? Like, if they're like, oh, you know, Cal said this about the Ruby merch or something, like, you know, usually it's just all on me, and no one's ever like, and this is Hunter. Like, and this is what Hunter said. Like, no one gives a fuck, right? So she's in a good position. I have a question. Have you ever thought of sharing a Ruby OC? I have, like, a self-insert OC from a long time ago, and basically the idea was that they would write stuff in a book, and whatever they write would come to life in a fight. And so I had, like, that as my, like, personal, like, she had a quill and, like, basically a magic book situation, and that was her semblance. But, like, I don't really have, like, ideas for Ruby OC. Sometimes I have ideas for, like, fan children. You know, I made a Weiss and Fox fan child that had, like, a peppermint swirl situation, because I think that their color schemes look really nice together and stuff like that. But basically, aside from Naruto, I've not watched Naruto, but I will take your word for it. It's probably like, I think that a lot of characters have that sort of thing, or like the girl from My Hero Academia that can make anything like from her skin as long as she knows what the components are and such. And so I think that like, I remember we had those, like I had a self-insert OC, but the only Ruby OCs I really have are like fan kids of like Fox and Neo kids or like Weiss and Fox kids. I don't really have like any original character that's just an original character for the sake of, I don't know, like a story or something. I can think of tons of ideas, like, you know, Little Mermaid in terms of Ruby is like totally untapped potential and all of that stuff. Like Little Mermaid is free real estate, and you can even have, I mean, this is getting into Twisted Wonderland, but in Twisted Wonderland, someone's unique power is like making contracts with people. I feel like that a contract related semblance makes a lot of sense for somebody to have. Rooster Teeth are not active on Twitter anymore, I heard. Surprised that Ruby is still kicking. I mean, Ruby is kicking and screaming, but okay. They're not. I mean, I think that Ruby is probably in a better place this week than it was last week. Twitch chat is saying, or like Inkheart, which I also haven't seen, but I heard is maybe good if it's what I'm thinking of, or maybe I'm thinking of Braveheart, which is something that is not the same. But yes. Hi Cal, how's it going? Hello Schnee in the YouTube chat. We're having a little talk. We're having a little chat. I think maybe Hunter messaged me back? We'll see. We're trying to figure out what Hunter is doing today instead of being here. We're trying to figure out, like, what were her plans. Like, last week, it was that she had a party for, like, her grandparents, which was, like, you know, not that serious. Like, it was like, oh, the people, I'm streaming. She's like, what do you mean the people want to know? Ruby is trying its best. It's a birthday party. Okay, so Hunter is the most popular social calendar of anyone, like, that I'm remotely friends with. You know what I mean? Like, Arnold, oh my goodness. Arnold does not go out very much. Okay, that's not slander, that's just the truth. I don't really know about, like, that Kaito Dan's social life that well. I don't know, maybe he's partying, right? Robin, I'm pretty sure I can say with some degree of certainty that Robin is not partying. Why aren't the messages sending? I don't know. I should make you a mod, Robin. Are you not modded? I should just make it so Robin can do whatever he wants. I don't know how to do that, actually. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I can't. I don't know how. I don't understand. Wait a minute. No, but there's a little... Wait. How can I mod Robin? Mod comments? No. Just give him mod powers. Isn't he already a mod? Okay, anyway. Maybe it's just Twitch having the problem. I know that there's some sort of streamer award show today. Maybe it's just like a bandwidth issue. I don't know. Earlier I was helping my sister move into her place, so busy day. Good. We're just talking about how you have a very active social life. Yeah, like, Hunter is, like, the busiest person. I don't know, like, she just has friends now. For the longest time, like, Hunter and I, you know, we were kind of, like, two gals against the world, you know what I'm saying? But, like, now Hunter, I don't know, she has all these friends all of a sudden. And I'm just like, oh, okay, like, she's always going out on the weekend, and I'm just like, that is just so not me. It's not even because, like, well, first of all, I don't have any friends to go out with, so, like, I'm not invited to anything, but it's also just, like, I'm not a very going out person. I went to a grad party. If anybody from my school happens to be watching this for some reason, because I know that some of them, you know, sub to me on YouTube as a show of support, but they probably don't actually watch, but they could be here, I don't know, right? So I say, with peace and love, like, I did enjoy our graduation party. However, like, I guess I just realized how much, like, I am not, like, a dance girly, and, like, a vape girly, and, like, you know, smoking pot on the back porch girly. Like, I am a let's play Mario Kart girly, and so I don't, like, it just, you know, it was fun to be around my classmates for one last time, but I did not enjoy the actual atmosphere of the get-together, and Hunter goes to things that are probably a little closer to that than the Mario part, like, where people, like, sit around and drink and talk and smoke and whatever, and, like, you know, at the party I was at, there wasn't much talking, there was more kind of dancey, right? And so, like, I just kind of like the, like, let's all get together and play a board game, right? So, this is cold now. That's why he's gone. He's only here when the mug is warm, so. But yeah, I kind of feel like that, like, I was never really like that. Even in high school, did not party. Just, I don't know, I just don't have, I don't have a partying bone in my body. Like, my idea of fun, and this isn't like, I'm not like the other girls, it's like just a legitimate fact. Like, my idea of fun is being at home and warm and watching, you know, some YouTube podcast on TV and, like, playing my little video games. And, you know, when Hunter and Arnold are here, we play Villainous. Like, that's my idea. Like, snacks and Villainous and Mario Kart is my idea of a good time. Everything else is just sort of, like, negligible, especially because, like, I don't really drink. So, it's kind of, and Arnold doesn't drink either, so it's just kind of, yeah, the thing about my YouTube channel in terms of school, right, is that in high school, like, people, like, it's not that they knew or didn't know, sort of thing, like, you know, it was sort of that, like, my accounts were all merged together, so I didn't try to keep it secret, but I also wasn't, like, gloating about it either, you know, like, it was sort of a more in the middle thing. But with school, with the university, I should say, like, with the musical theater program, I actively tried to keep it a secret for a couple months at least, or like for the first sort of term, just because I thought, I don't know why, I just kind of thought it would be weird. I kind of thought it would make things kind of weird, you know, like just in a weird way. Like I wanted to naturally make friends, and there were other people, you know, in the program that were also like interested in making videos and stuff like that, and so I kind of like, I wanted to make friends outside of like, we're just making video, like, you know what I mean? Like, we're just talking about YouTube all the time, right? And so, yeah, so I kind of kept it a secret, and eventually, like, it just sort of, like, I don't care anymore, I'm done. Like, I'm sort of done trying to keep it secret. I think it lasted a pretty long time, and then eventually it did not last anymore. It did not last. I can't remember, but there was, like, a specific chain of events that, like, eventually people started to realize. I remember, too, one of the girls watches Arnold's, two different people. One girl was a Ruby fan, and when we were still kind of, like, in the COVID times, they saw all my stuff in the background, and I was like, oh, do you watch any Ruby tubers? Like, right? And they watched Arnold's videos, but I never said that. I had a YouTube channel. They just knew Arnold, and so that's, like, you know, that was my first interaction in terms of like, oh, somebody knows who Arnold is, that's interesting. And then the second time, this was a different person, is that they saw Arnold on my Instagram story, because I was like, Arnold, your Genshin Impact's doing so well, like, heart, like, or whatever. Like, I posted that to my personal profile on Instagram, and they were like, I know him! And then they, I guess, went through Arnold's channel, and they were like, oh, you were in the Smash reaction with Arnold and with Sora. I watched that. I just didn't recognize you. And then from there, I kind of was like, okay. At this point, like, everybody knows about Arnold. So eventually, like, it's gonna get back to me. Oh, and then, right, I took 3 days off during my program to go to RTX. I think that's, yeah, now I'm remembering. That's when it happened. That's when I was like, okay, I can't really, like, hide this from anybody anymore because I'm leaving class, and that was a big no-no, but I got permission because I had already booked the trip. So, I didn't get an exception, like, I still technically missed those days of school, but they weren't as hard on me about it because I made sure I didn't miss any other days, and also because I, asked. I was like, listen, I already, you know, booked this trip thing. I need to go. And so then I went, and I was so tired all the time. RTX was like 50% of the time, I would say I was asleep. I was asleep at like 6 o'clock. It was probably terrible for Arnold and anybody that wanted to interact with me and like actually spend time with me, but because it was a vacation, I got the freedom to like literally just like fall asleep at whatever time I wanted, because I had been waking up at 5 in the morning every single day for, you know, like 9 months in a row. So, of course, when RTX comes around and then I get that break from my usual schedule where Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I don't need to wake up at 5 a.m., I was like, yes, I will go to sleep. Like, I just powered down. So, like, sorry. RTX 2024, RTX is not happening this year, YouTube chat. I'm sorry. You have a day job as well? Well, no, I don't, because I'm chronically unemployed. I used to have a day job. In terms of, I used to, like, when I was at my other school, when I got my other degree before the musical theater school, I got my, I worked at a movie theater, and then I did YouTube, and then I also went to school, so I did. But yeah, like, during, my musical theater program, there was not really any time for a job during the day, because we were, like, 5 a.m. to 7 or something, like, you know, that was kind of my schedule. So, like, when are you gonna work? From 7 until midnight and then wake up at 5? Some people did that, unfortunately, but they live closer to the school, so they also don't need to wake up as early as I did. So, but yeah, now I'm, like, auditioning for things and, like, applying for jobs and, like, kind of not going very well. Kind of not going well. Sorry, Twitch chat, I've been neglecting you guys. I wish I had friends to do reactions with, and that they could also help me with editing as well, but I don't, and I'm lonely. I'm sorry to hear that. I've actually, like, I tried to pimp Hunter out to edit. I was like, Hunter, why don't you come over to my house and you edit on my computer? Because, like, Hunter took an editing class. Like, she knows how. It's just that her technology sucks. But, like, I don't know. I don't, like, I'll have someone else do it. Hunter does not need to, you know, to edit, like, or whatever. Like, I feel like that it wouldn't be happy. Like, it would not bring her joy. Yeah, Hunter's trying to find a job too. You know, I don't want to get too much into this because, like, this is not the vibe that I wanted for the stream, but the Ontario job market right now is quite frankly ridiculous. Like, every post I see on the Ontario or, like, Canada subreddit is like that, oh, well, the young people are just, like, bowing out of the job market, and it's like, it's not that the young people are deciding not to work, it's that the young people can't find jobs, and so, like, eventually, if you're just living with your parents, right, like, why are you even trying anymore, like, if you've been rejected so many times? Yeah, so, that's that on that. Oh, no, I would pay Hunter. If Hunter edited, I would pay her. It's just kind of weird in terms of, like, I don't know, Hunter comes to my house, she clocks in her hours, and she leaves. Like, I prefer having Hunter just record reactions with me because then we keep it fun, you know? It's kind of like my mom, because, again, like I said, my mom's job hunting. She was like, hey, if you need, you know, editing, maybe I should learn. And I'm like, Mom, like, that's okay. Like, I like it better when my mom just, like, does a little Ruby, guessing the Ruby characters with me or something. I don't want to actually, like, put them to work, you know? BS. Hello, Marion. Also, hi, Edward. Don't worry about being late. Isn't there Summer of Ruby? I mean, sort of. Like, Summer of Ruby's a fan event, and so that's good. And then RTX is, like, different. Like, RTX is, like, the official Rooster Teeth, you know, situation. Cal, I feel you. I live in Toronto, and I'm just trying. I know. It's terrible. It's so bad right now. Like, even, you know, people, like, I don't want to get into it too much, obviously, you know, our personal situation, but, like, my mom, like, she is crazy qualified to do anything. Like, as you know, she basically, like, runs websites for people. It's kind of, like, hard to explain, but, like, she's the executive e-com, like, director person, like, you know, that's what she was before, right? And so, you know, even for her, like, imagine, you know, like, she has all this experience and she did all this work and stuff, and so, like, even for her, it's hard. So for us, that we don't have any experience, like, what are we supposed to do, you know? And so it's a little complicated. How about getting another degree? You can't have enough. I know. It's funny, right? Because it's like, I have so many degrees in everything. And I'm just like, it's so hard. It's so hard. I mean, I'm mostly, like, I haven't been job hunting as, like, you know, they say with that when you're unemployed, like, oh, you job hunt from 9 to 5. I haven't been doing that because, like, YouTube is still, like, YouTube is a viable option. It's not, like, the best option, right? But, like, it's not, like, the most, you know, wait, what did I say? It's not the best option, but it's still okay. Like, I'm still, like, making a little money, like, enough money that I can, you know, like, get it together, right? That I can help out and, you know, whatever. So YouTube's okay. If I was really unemployed, like, if I was, like, big unemployed with the capital U, if you will, like, I would be job hunting 9 to 5, but I'm not doing that. I'm mostly just, like, applying for things that it would be interesting. Like, it would be interesting, you know, like, oh, this candle company that makes candles I really like, they're looking for a social media manager, I'll just apply, or, like, going to auditions and that sort of stuff like that. And so, yes. So it's not, like, I'm not, like, in desperation. I don't want you guys to think that I'm just, like, I end the stream, and then I have a cup of broth for dinner, and then I go to sleep because I can't afford food. Like, it's not, I mean, maybe sometime, but it's not getting that crazy. It's not getting that crazy yet. So, yeah, like, we're not getting that desperate. We're still kind of okay right now between me and my mom and our little you unemployed and our big you unemployed. We're not dying. It's okay. Also, Edward has ice cream, which is interesting because I was like, get something warm, and Edward was like, no, unless you microwaved it, which I do that to my ice cream cake but that's a whole other conversation. Okay, moving to Twitch chat though. I don't know if we've gotten any news, but are you looking forward to the Kingdom Hearts Missing Link game? I just caught up with the story from the the mobile game, and it looks promising since I've never played, from the mobile game since I never played that, but this one looks promising. Yes, I agree. I haven't seen, okay, I know what happens, but I don't understand. Do you know what I mean? Like, I played Union Cross, and I played a couple other situations. Like, I kind of looked at things, like, I know things. I don't know, like, I know, let's just say, for example, what happens to Sterlitzia, or, Ventus, right? Like, in Marluxia and Larxene. I don't want to really get into Kingdom Hearts, spoilers or, you know, anything like that, but, like, I know things, but I don't understand. Like, at some point, I need to do a stream where I watch the cutscenes, you know? Where I watch the actual cutscenes from Union Cross and Unchained Key and kind of catch up, because I kind of don't know. Like, I kind of don't really know what's going on. But I do like Missing Link and how it looks, and it's kind of like that Pokemon-esque. I really liked Pokemon Go. When Pokemon Go came out, that was like, I remember I was in England, because I was visiting my boyfriend at the time, and just like, you know, imagine kind of like a small provincial English town, but like, you know, the town from Beauty and the Beast, but like a little bigger, right? Like, they still had stores and stuff, but like cottage country, but in England. Right, like everybody was out trying to catch Pokemon, like kind of in the woods, and then kind of like, you know, in this like little town, stone walkways area. Like, it was just the best. Like, it was so cool, you know, Pokemon Go coming out, and I was in a different country, right, where there was nicer scenery. There was nicer scenery compared to, you know, to other places. Have you heard of Vocal Tunes? I feel like that sounds familiar. Brian Hall also sounds familiar. I'm assuming YouTube singers, but yes. I think I will look them up for sure. There's so many things I have to, for the music channel, a lot of people are like, you gotta do this and you gotta do that, and I'm like, oh my god, there's so many songs, there's so much to do. I'm trying to get an editor for that second channel. So if you're here in the chat and you know someone, I think I do have somebody in mind. There's somebody that reached out to me on Twitter, and they asked, they were like, I think that maybe I can like edit for you. I'm starting to use this software, and I was like, great, I will put you on the video essays, because that seems kind of like a good idea, because people want more music content on that other channel than I can possibly like handle. Yes, I do have a music channel. It's not like music is in me singing, it's music like analyzing songs and stuff, and I talked about it a couple times during the Has-Been streams, but if you look up, like, why, Wish is disappointing, or whatever, like, Disney's Wish is disappointing, like, you'll find it. You'll find it if you look up Calxiyn Wish, or, like, Calxiyn Has-Been Hotel Song Analysis. I don't know, you'll find it, I'm sure. How is the backlog? I mean, there's, like, different backlogs for different things. The music channel doesn't really have a backlog right now. I'm just like, oh, I'm just writing the next script sort of vibe. I may actually record that tomorrow. The music channel is called Calxiyn Cares Too Much, which is like Calxiyn, but increased. Your dosage of Calxiyn has been increased, recommended by your doctor. Like, that's kind of what it is. But yeah, I still not have seen Wish. No, I have not seen it either. I'm waiting for it to be on streaming so I can watch it, because, like, okay, the thing with that channel is that it's hard to be sad all the time, okay, because the Wish songs, the songs from Wish were not very good. They just were not good, right? And so I was sad. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. So, like, I'm trying to, like, rotate. I'm trying to, like, have things in rotation. Like, I want to post like a song that I think is good first, and then go back to songs that I think are bad, right? So I have like Wish on my plate, and then Has-Been has like 16 more songs for me to do, and then we also have just general, like, I want to do like Barbie videos and stuff like that, you know? Yes, Robin, I was thinking, I tried to get Arnold. Well, I didn't try to get him, but Arnold was telling me that he is like, with his Genshin stuff, he's like, yeah, by the end of the month or something, I don't know, like soon, like, we're not gonna have like a backlog anymore. And I was like, so I can have custody of Robin back? So I can have my Robin custody? Because, yeah, like, I feel like, yeah, I didn't want to have another editor, or I guess I shouldn't say that. I'm trying to find editors for that other channel to help facilitate that other channel, but like for the past couple of months I've been like, I'm full-time now, I need to like maximize the amount of money possible that I bring home, and so I need to edit. I don't want to pay editors at the moment, but you know, the more that I've been thinking about it, I'm more like, I need to pay an editor if I want to get anything done, because I'm doing way too much by myself right now, and like it's also like burning me out, right? And so, you know, even though there is a cost, because there's always a cost, I'm like, yeah, I do think that having an editor to do just one, even if it's just one thing, would probably help a lot. The gaming backlog, I mean, Vins, the gaming backlog has not happened, especially with Has-Been, like, it has not, we haven't done anything. I was actually, I mentioned this if you missed it at the beginning of the stream, but I said that I wanted to play Little Goody Two Shoes today, and then I got scared. I got scared because I was like, there's a weird car outside and I'm gonna die. Yeah, so yeah, the gaming backlog, nothing's happened because I haven't streamed. I need to finish Little Goody Two Shoes and then we'll start to get into it. But yeah, I didn't want to play Little Goody Two Shoes because I was scared. I was like, there are weird people outside. And I had, like, defense. Cal is a mega Barbie fan? Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, I don't mean Barbie as in, like, Barbie movie Barbie. I mean, like, Barbie as in, like, Barbie, the DVD direct, you know, direct-to-DVD animation movies and stuff like that. Okay. I know that it's kind of bad. Like, we've only been streaming for an hour, but I need to use the bathroom. I hate to interrupt the flow of the chat, but I feel like that, like, we need to, oopsie, we have to do what we have to do. So please keep all your thoughts, your questions, and your concerns. I will be back. Okay, hello guys, I'm back, don't worry. I did not leave for that long, so that's good. I hate, like, I don't know, I hate leaving, like, very shortly into the stream because it exposes the fact that I have, like, no, like, I don't know, like, I have no, strength in terms of, like, like, oh my god, what am I trying to say? Like, I always need to get up, you know what I mean? Like, I always need to get up and go somewhere. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Like, I'm always leaving. There are people that they stream for, like, 4 hours and they never move. Like, I can't do that. Like, I am always, like, going somewhere. I do want to make sure I answer everybody's questions, though, from before I left. You were gone for, like, 30 seconds. I know. But I'm like, in those 30 seconds, people will leave me. You know, that's what everybody's always worried about. Cartoon, Claude says, I'm assuming you're an introvert, which I wonder if that was earlier in the stream. Like, if they were catching up, because that was our earlier conversation. Yes, like Barbie and the Nutcracker, absolutely. The weird car, question mark? Yeah, there's been somebody parked outside, and I'm like, I don't trust this. I'm gonna get murdered. That's basically what I thought. Robin in the Twitch chat says, first of all, Sick says, hey, how's it going? And sorry, I did not see that before, but thank you for first time chatting. We are doing all right. Robin said after that, there are 15 videos I need to get through. Oh no, as more, that number will slowly creep up to 30 by the time it's fully caught up as more come in. Yeah, and so hopefully one day you'll be free. I don't know. But yeah, there's somebody on Twitter that wants to edit for me, for sure. And that will probably help. But yeah, I don't know, it's gonna be interesting. Like, the next couple months are gonna be interesting, because I was telling somebody, I don't know, it's probably not true anymore, I'll probably need at least until April, but I was telling someone, I'm like, I think that by March we'll figure out whether or not, like, I can actually do YouTube full-time or not. You know, like, I think that by April, I think I said March originally, but I meant kind of like the end of March, so, like, that's basically April. I just subscribed to your music channel. I will always support you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Make sure that you have to actually watch the videos, though, because subscribing doesn't do anything, but watching the videos does. Like, if you subscribe to a channel and then not watch what they release, YouTube is like, this sucks. Why would we show this to people? Like, it sends the wrong message to, like, the YouTube algorithm. So yes, only subscribe to the music channel if you want to check out the has-been analysis. But I think that they're fun. I think that they're interesting. Of course I would, because I made them. But I do think, like, you know, if you're interested in how music works and more of that sort of stuff, like the stuff that we don't really talk about, it won't just be music. But yes, the music channel does have ads. We are monetized on the music channel. It actually, like, that must have been the fastest turnaround for monetization. I literally, like, so I uploaded the first Wish video in November, and I kind of left it alone. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, it was getting, like, thousands of views a day, and just got crazy. And unfortunately, like, I didn't have monetization at that time. So I made the second video, which was about the Wishes I Want song. And I uploaded that in January or something. It was a couple months ago. And so I uploaded it in January, and it just went crazy, bonkers. Like, to have a YouTube channel monetized, you need 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subs, I think, or something like that. And I got both of those things, like, literally overnight. Like, it took less than 2 days. And so it was just insane. Like, it's just, the reception has been really, really good. And, like, the ads per 1,000 view thing has also been really, really good. That's why I'm like, it's not that, I will never abandon you guys. I'm not gonna be like, okay, well, this new channel's making money, bye. Like, I'm never gonna do that, but because of that, I'm like, okay, I need to really think about, like, what I'm doing here to make sure, like, I can manage both things, you know, to make sure I can manage everything properly, because now, like, I'm not technically doing more work, because I feel like in some capacity, whatever I would have done, like, it would have been on this channel anyway, you know what I mean? Like, I've just sort of, like, I separated the things. It's like Arnold with Genshin, right? Like, even if Arnold uploaded Genshin on his Murder of Birds channel and didn't make a second channel, he still would have been doing that work. So I don't think it's actually more work. The editing is probably actually more work. But I feel like that it is kind of evening out. And so it's just like, the algorithm likes them better. The algorithm likes that other channel a little better, and I think that that's why it's working out so well, and that's why it's evening out, because YouTube likes it when you make kind of the same thing that people want to, like, watch a bunch of them in a row, and all those music videos, they are pretty much all the same. Like, they're the same format, the same discussion points, and whatnot. Speaking of music, what are your thoughts on, Sebastian Evans? I'm not sure. I don't know. I do not have any. I'm mostly about us. Forget about us. Chase the bag. Oh my goodness. I mean, like, you know, these things don't need to necessarily be separate either. Like something I was thinking of, I was like, you know, I could do sort of a more body double stream, like where I'm like, okay guys, like this is what I'm working on, let's all work together. Like I've done that before. About what I was saying, I was saying what happened to Hell of a Boss. I don't know. Did something happen to Hell of a Boss? Not on our channel, right? We still have Hell of a Boss. Yeah, I did notice that earlier, but I forgot to inquire about what you meant. Is that something like a Hell of a Boss disappeared? I think Hell of a Boss is still... I think they're okay. As far as I know, there's gonna be a new episode soon. Maybe just some weird... Let me look to see if there's some weird stuff that's happening on the VisiPop channel. I mean, there hasn't been an episode in a while, but I think that they're working on it. They said that it would be coming out soon, so I'm not too worried. Actually, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh. No. The episodes are still there. They're okay. Yeah, the episodes are still there for me. I think they're okay. I think it's just like I think sometime this month it's coming out, so don't worry. I think Hell of a Boss is okay. Yeah, because I was like, wait a minute, I don't see it. I don't see the episodes. It just got nuked? I don't think so. Maybe, like, on my end, it's not. Maybe, like, YouTube's just having... Because you know what did happen? Is that Has Been Hotel accidentally got copyright claimed by, like, VisiPop, even though it was on the official VisiPop channel. So maybe that's what's happening. Maybe it's regional. I'm sure it'll be back soon, though. I wouldn't worry too much. They're gonna be okay. The new episode's coming out. Thoughts on the Wicked teaser trailer? See, that's what I was like, what if for my other channel I did, like, you know, breaking down the Wicked trailer, because I did that thing about Moana, which was just me, like, hello everybody, and here's the news. So I was thinking about, you know, the Wicked trailer. I think a lot of things... I think that Wicked would have been better animated. I think that's what the people kind of wanted, you know? I think that people wanted Wicked to be animated. I think that it would have been better if it was like Disney animated movie situation. At least that's just my opinion. That's what I think. I think that Ariana Grande seems better than I anticipated. Seems better than I anticipated. She has a very interesting, like, look to her, I guess. Like, she's kind of like, she has, like, very large eyes and, like, a petite sort of face. And so she does kind of look like Glinda in the sense of, like, otherworldly. Like, there's something like Disney Princess about her appearance where she looks kind of cartoonish in a good way. Like, don't come for me. So that's better than I thought. People are saying that the actress for Elphaba's too old. I don't think that she's too old. I think that people are overreacting. Also, thank you, Ed, for stopping by, though. Thank you for popping into the stream. I hope that you guys had fun. I've had fun doing this free chat. I kind of thought no one was going to show up, so I'm glad that that didn't happen. I thought Hellivo went to Amazon Prime. No, that just Has Been Hotel. What do you think is better, season 1 of Has Been Hotel or season 1 of Hell of a Boss? Like, okay, people have asked this to me. Here's the thing. If you ask me what happened in Hell of a Boss season 1, I can't tell you. Like, I don't remember. I don't know. I couldn't tell you anything. I know what happened, like, in the show, but to differentiate season 1 from season 2, like, I just don't know. I don't know, bestie. So I think Hunter and I, we talked about this. Before we watch the new Hell of a Boss episode, we need to rewatch the whole show. And I kind of think... for Camp Camp, we have to do the same thing when Camp Camp comes out in March, because it's been a while. Like, it's, you know what I mean? It's been a while. I think that we should watch the rest of Camp Camp. Hunter's not a fan of, like, that they recast it, and now they're kind of having this, like, dude bro character in the new Camp Camp episodes that she's not fond of, but, like, we'll check it out. We'll try. Somebody asked way earlier, sorry that I missed it, but are you a Barbieheimer fan? I mean, I never got to see either movie, because when the movies came out, I was in school, and we were doing our show, like, 8 nights a week, so, or I guess 7 nights a week and then 1 matinee, so I never got to see the Barbie movie. I still haven't seen it, because, like, during that time, we were so busy, and then after I graduated, we got COVID, so I never got to see the Barbie movie. And I didn't get to see it in the theater. I mean, I know I should just watch it. It's probably streaming somewhere. I don't know where, but it's probably somewhere by now, but it's probably on Paramount Plus, which I don't have. Recasting which character in Camp Camp? They recasted like a bunch of them. A bunch of different characters. Hunter didn't like the person's voice for, the kid. Who's the kid? I don't remember. Not David, like the kid. Max. They recasted Max and Hunter didn't like the voice for Max. And then Gwen's not in the show anymore because they, like, you know, Gwen is going away at the end of the special that they put out a couple months ago. So yeah, I mean, we're still gonna react to Camp Camp. Just kind of like, like it's kind of one of those like, I don't know how it's gonna be, right? Which movie is scarier? Five Nights at Freddy's or IT? I'm not sure what IT stands for in this context, unless it's just it. I have not watched either movie. I'm not a scary movie person. I like a psychological thriller. I would love to think of one right now. Like Get Out. Like I watched Get Out and I really liked it, but I did not, yeah, like I don't really watch scary movies that don't have like an element of that, like psychological in some way. Yes, it was Max, Neris, and Gwen that were recast. The Mean Girls movie. I have not seen the Mean Girls movie yet. My mom was actually like, listen, I will be an investor in your new channel. If you need to go see the Mean Girls movie for work, like I will pay, like I will invest. And so Hunter and I are gonna go see it. I don't even know if it's still in the theater though, because it's kind of been a little while. Maybe we've said all that we can say. I don't know, but I haven't seen it. I have heard things. I heard that they changed the music and made it more pop music, and even though I think that probably makes sense for the target demographic, I can't say that I approve as like a musical theater girly. Like I heard they basically made them, you know how at the end of the Disney movie there's that song, you know, like there's like at the end of Aladdin there's like a whole new world and it's like some guy and maybe Celine Dion or something, and it's like the weird pop ballad but also like reggae, 80s reggae music or something, like that sort of thing, right? And like it's the same at the end of The Little Mermaid. Maybe not, actually I don't think Little Mermaid has one. I think Little Mermaid was spared. I think it's Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast, right? Where they have like Celine Dion singing Tale as Old as Time. That's kind of what I heard. That's what I heard. It's basically the entire movie's like that. Not that they changed the speed of the song, not that they made like, you know, songs into ballads, but just the vibe of like, we're taking a song from a musical and now it's a pop song. And now it's like Panic at the Disco's cover of Into the Unknown. And like, I don't know if I want that in my life. I don't know if we needed this. I don't know if this was good for us as a society. I don't know. Maybe it helped the movie do better. Did it? I don't know. I think that there's a very interesting thing where like they are not advertising things as musicals right now because like they need to trick people into going to see a musical for some reason. And that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting, is that it's all like in this pursuit to trick people. I heard that Wonka's a musical. Like, okay, and I debated about this on Twitter. I was like, is the original Willy Wonka a musical? Because I don't see the original Willy Wonka as a musical, which may be weird because it has music. But like, for example, okay, Peter Pan has music, but it's music that people are hearing in universe, right? Like when Peter Pan is singing, he's not singing like as a musical theater kind of singing. He's singing like this is the song he heard to do the thing kind of singing, right? Like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's hard to explain. Or like, you know, terrible example, but like there's, you know, the song with the indigenous island people in Peter Pan, and that's not supposed to be a musical theater number. That is a song that the indigenous people that are very poorly misrepresented, obviously, you know, in Peter Pan are singing. And so that's how I feel about Peter Pan. It's like, okay, well, the pirates have a song, but that's because they're pirates, like it's a sea shanty, and Peter Pan has a song, and then that other song happens. And, like, I wouldn't consider that a musical, though. I'd consider that, like, a mysterious third thing. What is the mysterious third thing? I don't know. I guess just a movie that happens to have they can have a little music as a treat. It's like not, I don't know. It's a weird kind of line. It's a weird hill to die on and a weird line to cross. Hello, idiots react. Hello in the YouTube chat. But yeah, like, it's weird, because I think most people would consider those things musicals, but I'm like, but there's something about those things that, to me, they're not a musical, and I don't know why. I think it's just because, like, it doesn't have, like, opening number, I want song, etc. Like, it doesn't have musical format, it's using music within the world. Hello, Calxiyn, will you continue reacting to Miraculous? I did talk about this earlier. I knew that at least one person was wondering. The situation with Miraculous is interesting, because I did talk about this a little earlier, but I'll go over it again, because I don't mind. Like, I'm changing how I edit my reactions now, which is to say, not at all, because I'm tired, and I don't want to edit anymore. I don't want to spend, like, 4 hours editing a Miraculous video, right? And so, the problem is that I have one Miraculous reaction, I think it's episode 11, that is still, it's recorded in a way that I cannot do that. Like, I can't just upload it as it is. It definitely needs to be edited. So I've kind of been, I don't want to say dragging my feet, because that's not the right word, but you know when you put off something for a long time and then it turns into this, like, gargantuan, like, impossible task, and every time you think about it, it makes you cry a little bit, and, like, it just stresses you out. Like, that's how I feel. It's probably really not that serious. Like, if I actually sat down and looked at it, it's probably not as bad as I've built it up in my head. Miraculous is just one of those weird shows, because I feel like it's unfair to some extent to expect people to do a time sync for a show that doesn't have easy streaming access, because now season 5 does. I'd be fine after I fix this random, again, I think it's episode 11, it's like the part 2 to, like, the Hawkmoth scenario, like when the Miraculous switch and, like, the entire school tackles Hawkmoth and whatever. So yeah, like, whatever episode that was, that's the last one that I watched, and I haven't been editing it because I first of all, like, I was just sort of, you know, the last one, it did okay, but it wasn't great, and so I kind of wanted to wait for Miraculous news, like, for season 6 to start coming out, and then I would release, like, one a week until season 6 is, I don't know, like, just, I wanted to release it at a more optimal time. But then I have to edit that Stray one. But it's not just about editing the Stray one, it's sort of also like, okay, for the rest of season 5 I can do a time sync. Well, what am I gonna do when the show is just airing on TV and it's not on streaming anymore? I feel like I can't expect people to time sync for that. So it's just kind of a bizarre situation, because I'm not sure what to do about it at all. I guess what I'll do is I'll edit the rando. I'll edit the rando one, like the random one that I still have, and then I'll watch the rest of season 5, and then when season 6 comes out, it's like, we'll cross the bridge when we get to it kind of thing. Because the problem, too, with Miraculous in the past, is that there was one video where I recorded it and it was streaming. I recorded it and it was, like, released on the internet somewhere, I don't know. Like, it was on TV, you know, and I recorded my reaction with the TV version, and then, it didn't pan out in terms of being able to release it, so what I tried to do was I tried to release it as a time sync, but the problem was, because of how I recorded it, I couldn't get it to sync up, because when it was uploaded to streaming, it was 60 frames per second, and then when I had recorded it as a, you know, embedded in my video, it was, like, I don't know, I guess it was at a different frame rate, and I couldn't get them to sync up. So that's the other problem with asking people to sync up something. It's like, well, you know, streaming platforms have consistent, frame rates, but Miraculous probably won't, unless I wait until half of season 6 is out, like, until it's already out on, you know, Disney Plus or whatever. The only way that we win, in this situation is if Miraculous, well, if I suck it up and edit it, I guess. That's the first way that we win, if I just suck it up, right? Or if they start releasing once a week on Disney Plus. Like, that's the only way that the situation is salvageable. But yeah, like, Miraculous is just sort of in a weird little limbo right now, because I don't want to change the format, and then when season 6 comes around, people get screwed over by the format change, right? Because that'll be weird. So I either need to just, like, keep doing it as I've always done it, or not at all. And that would be kind of sad, because I've been covering Miraculous for a long time, and I don't know, it's not that I've grown out of it, but I'm sort of in that space where I'm like, I'm okay with the kind of not knowing where things go. Like, I'm not desperate to know what happened, I guess, as I once was. Like, I was never super into Miraculous. Like, I liked it well enough, you know? But as the reaction situation with it has gotten more complicated, I'm almost like, is it worth it? I don't know. We'll find out, I suppose. Oh, the clown! You guys are talking about, when you guys were talking about it, you were talking about the Stephen King. Okay, when you guys talk about that, you need to mention, like, Stephen King's It at the front, because oh yeah, now I know what you're talking about. I'm dumb, I'm sorry. But yeah, now that makes perfect sense. Oh my goodness, but yeah, I do not really watch scary movies. I did have to read a Stephen King book for school, and you know, I'm no literary expert or anything, but, like, this was a class, I don't even remember. It was, like, science fiction, fantasy, and then maybe a horror. Like, it was, like, there was a whole thing going on. Like, and it was, like, new works or works of the new age. I don't know. It was something, right? And I had to read a couple different books, and the only ones I remember was a book by, I don't know if it was, hold on. We should look this up before we talk about what they were. This was in university, by the way. So, like, let's keep that in mind. I feel like maybe you guys can tell me, actually, because, like, nothing, I looked up the author that I thought it was from, and nothing is looking even remotely familiar, okay? So maybe you guys can tell me. But, okay, the Stephen King book I had to read for that class was the hotel one, and I'm not sure which one that is. But, you know, the one with the twins and, like, the little boy, and he's seeing, the, like, things and whatever. I found it very, like, boring. I found it boring. I thought that it was written in a very boring way. I didn't like, I guess, the POV writing. Like, it wasn't even, like, a prose thing. I didn't like, following, I guess, the male protagonist. Like, I don't know. I just found it very boring. I was like, why would anyone be interesting to this? Like, it could not hook me if it tried. I was just bored, and then I was also confused, and I didn't have a fun time. And I consider myself, like, a very, you know, what do you call it? Not ferocious. I'm thinking of a different word, but, like, you know, like, I've always been a big reader, and, like, reading above my level or whatever. Like, I've never had a problem with understanding something, even if that thing was above my current, like, reading level, like, with enough effort, right? For example, Wicked, the books, are an adult fantasy series, but I read those in, like, grade 7 or something, which isn't, like, there's nothing in Wicked that's complicated, but, you know, I'm just using that as an example, that, like, I read adult books as not an adult, and I could understand what was going on just fine, right? It's not that the prose in Wicked is particularly challenging or anything, but just, like, the idea of, like, yeah, I read these things that were definitely not for me, especially because, like, Wicked has, like, smut. There is smut in the Wicked books. People don't realize this. There is smut and, like, other things that are not appropriate for, like, a child. But anyway, that's not important. So, yeah, like, I didn't like the Stephen King book that I read. Now, there was another book that I had to read, and it was about possibly a group of women, maybe just a group of scientists, and there was an alien creature on this, either it was a planet or it was just a part of the world that they were supposed to be exploring or something. And I didn't like it either, and I thought it was, again, boring and very confusing. And just, well, not even confusing, just not fun. And so there was this big, like, mystery with this monster that was on the island killing people, but then, I don't know, like, it just didn't really seem to matter at the end. I don't remember what it was. I wish I could tell you, because, like, the entire class was like that, where it's like, oh, we're reading, like, the greatest literature of, like, our recent age. And I'm pretty sure, I feel like it was an Ursula Le Guin book, but I don't think that that's correct. I feel like that that's not right. But yeah, it was like there was an alien in the jungle, and people were dying, and there was a mystery about the aliens, but then by the end of the book, you don't really find out what happened. And so I was just bored and not really entertained. I don't know. My favorite, like, this is a big girl book, you know, is Lies of Locke Lamora. That is my favorite, probably my favorite book of maybe of all time. Like, if I'm taking out the element of, like, childhood nostalgia, like, Lies of Locke Lamora is my favorite book that I did not read as a teenager, that I read as an adult. And I love, like, the series so much, especially the first one. Like, I was like, you know, obviously I do reactions, right? So clearly I'm a very expressive type of person, but, like, I'm not really, I kind of, it's not that I'm not like that in real life, because I am definitely like that in real life, but I'm not like that outside of my house, right? Like, I hide it pretty well in public. Like, I just mask it a lot better, I think, you know? Because some people are like, oh, well, you know, like, Arnold and Calxiyn and, like, reactors like that, they fake their reactions. They're exaggerating. And I'm like, no, this is the time where I get to be whoever I want, right? You know what I mean? This is the time where I get to be myself. It's outside that I don't get to be myself, right? But, like, Lies of Locke Lamora had me, like, in tears on the train and, like, just like, oh my God. Like, I was just like, I gasped at one point. I was on the train and I was like, oh my goodness. Like, I was, like, shocked. Like, the book shocked me. And usually, again, like, it's like, you know how, you know, oh, we have food at home? And then it's like, oh, the food at home. It's like, we have Calxiyn at home. And, like, but in this situation, Calxiyn at home is actually better than the Calxiyn that walks around outside. You know? And so, yeah, like, but yes, thank you for sticking around, Robin. I don't think we'll go for much longer. Like, usually when I see just chatting, it's like 1 or 2 hours. So we'll probably go on for like another 30 minutes and call it a day. I can tell my mom I tried. I can tell her I tried to do something today. I can tell her Robin subbed, right? So, like, I did technically make money today. So, we're okay. I'm gonna order Wicked real quick. Yeah, like, okay, it's not, like, gratuitous. Like, you know what I mean? But, like, there's, you know, Wicked is a very interesting story because it's very politically driven, and they kind of took that all out of the musical. Like, it is nothing like the musical at all. And there's, you know, different things. Yes, I cannot read smut like Wattpad. I mean, I guess I can, right? But personally, I love your time sync reactions more than your edited reactions, and we all cheered. I'm glad that you said that. Somebody else mentioned that earlier, and I'm like, oh my God, thank God, because that's what I need to do now, basically. But yeah, Miraculous is in a weird situation, but, like, honestly, if most people are, like, if most people are good with the time sync reactions, that just, like, reinvigorates me. Like, that rejuvenates me to hear that, because, like, I've been so stressed out about having to change the format and everything. Like, I've been so stressed. Imagine 200 in chat. I follow some streamers like that, and it's like they do the best they can. It's not even that, like, I don't see you guys' comments. It's just sometimes I'm like, I can't physically talk fast enough, almost. Like, that's kind of what it's like. It's like I see everything, and I'm just like, but, like, I can't talk fast enough to address everything. But yeah, it's good to hear that people are on board with the time sync idea. And so what I'll probably do is tomorrow Hunter and I are recording. And after that, who knows? I don't know. I don't even know what Hunter and I are doing. Oh, we have a commission. We have to do a commission tomorrow. Somebody commissioned us to react to all of the Honkai Star Rail animated official situation. I don't know what you would even call them. Like, I guess they're kind of like the Genshin character demos, but they're kind of different. So yeah, we have a commission, and then maybe we'll do something. I don't know if we're still gonna do Percy Jackson. Like, maybe we'll do it. I don't know. Like, Percy Jackson's also in a weird sort of limbo because we recorded it with the intention of editing it, but then I was like, maybe we can do it as a time sync. So I may just, like, I think that this week I need to, like, collect the strays in terms of, like, there are weird little things like, everywhere, and just random little videos that, like, I recorded and did not post them, and they're just floating around. So I think that this week I need to do, like, collecting all the random things that we did or something like that. Like, and then after that, it's like, okay, now we can kind of focus. Did you enjoy the Owl House enough to continue reactions to that? I did. It's more so that I'm like, I don't know. It's sort of a strange situation, right? Because it's hard to tell. How do I explain this? I think that I just need to keep testing with certain things, and I mentioned this a little earlier in the stream, Pittman. But if you missed it, it's okay. I don't mind going over it. But I said that I don't think that I gave those things a real chance, like Dungeon Meshi, Free Rin, Owl House, Sign of Affection. I don't think that I gave those things a shot, really, because then afterward we were bombarded with Has-Been Hotel. And so I don't think I actually gave it, like, a real college try, if you want to call it that. So, you know, my plan is that after Has-Been Hotel, at the beginning of the month, I wanted to record a bunch of stuff in bulk, and then, like, have some of it be on Patreon, and then have some of it, like, come out weekly and stuff like that. But that just didn't really happen for a lot of reasons. Mostly it was Has-Been Hotel. Like, it's always Has-Been Hotel at the scene of the crime recently, you know? Like, just, complications with that. But then, like, at the beginning of the month, I also had an audition, and there was a bunch of stuff going on, so I didn't really get that, like, now I'm finally free, what do we do? Right? And so I think that this week is gonna be like, now I'm free, like, actually free. Like, you know, there's nothing weekly coming out anymore. It's all older shows that it's, like, just about the interest. So with Owl House, it's just hard to tell whether or not, like, because, I don't know, I hate to think of stuff this way, because I feel like it just ruins everything, but at the same time, you know, I talked about, like, my situation and then my mom's situation a little bit earlier in terms of money, and so I'm trying to think of, like, okay, well, wait a minute, if I spend a half an hour recording this, and then let's just say it's like an hour or an hour and a half, because it'll be quicker to edit it, and then also holding my computer hostage to render it. I have to figure out how to make them render at night without me having to, like, press the button. I need to figure out how to, like, maybe I can code some sort of automated thing that'll, like, you can queue a bunch of them in a row and then they'll export for you. But yeah, that's the other problem, is babysitting my computer as they render my videos, because I can't get it to just do it by itself. But yeah, and so I'm like, okay, well, every Owl House reaction needs to make, like, let's just say it's $25. Let's just pretend that that's how much, right? And so, like, how many patrons do we have that are just here for the Owl House? How much did they make in terms of YouTube ad revenue? And so it's kind of just one of those, like, headaches where you're like, oh, this sucks. Like, it sucks to have to think of, like, everything you're posting as, like, okay, well, this is how much it costs to make, so what does the profit margin need to be on this reaction? Like, it should never be that serious, but yeah, like, it gets like that sometimes, right? So, I'm not gonna think about that too much at the moment, because I don't have any data. I need to do some data collection. I know that this is probably the most boring explanation of a YouTuber's job that you guys have ever heard. Like, this entire stream I've been talking about, like, you know, different, like, oh, what we're gonna do next, and, like, how I decide what to do next, and we've been talking about some of those things. This must be, like, the most boring, like, explanation of how YouTubers figure stuff out ever. Like, obviously, like, you know, I also do what I want. You know, like, with Migi and Dally, it was kind of like, fuck it, we ball, you know? Like, I just did it because I really, really loved the show, but it's like, I get one thing that I really love, and then everything else needs to be doing something, so that's how I kind of feel like reacting right now. I'm also like, I don't know, like, can we get serious for a minute? Can we talk about this? What I'm having trouble with, too, recently, it's too bad Robin's not here anymore. It's too bad he had to go, because I wonder if other Ruby content creators feel that way, but this is before the Ruby news, right? Like, I guess something that I'm having trouble with is just that there's really nothing that I've watched that I love as much as Ruby. And I know, like, you know, some people are like, well, Ruby's mid. Like, Ruby's a bad show anyway. But, like, I'm not saying that I haven't watched stuff that's better than Ruby. I'm saying that I haven't watched anything that I loved more than Ruby. Like, you know, I think maybe a long time ago, yes, like, I loved Code Geass, Beastars, Shadow's House. I really, really love those shows. Even Odd Taxi, you know, Odd Taxi was a bit of more of a chill vibe, right? Not a Matt Pat moment per se, like not even Matt Pat in terms of like Matt Pat getting old or something, right? And so it's just like, wow, like I love Ruby so much, and like Ruby has like this hold on me in terms of like, you know, you guys have probably noticed, right? Like I occasionally used to make miraculous theories, right? Especially back when I was caught up. Now it's kind of a difficult situation. I've made Kingdom Hearts theories because I really like Kingdom Hearts. I've made Persona videos because I really like Persona, you know? But like we've never been like, and here's a hell of a boss theory. And we definitely could, and I think that we're going to. Like I think that for at least Has Been Hotel, you know, we're definitely going to, right? Like, I have theories, actually. I just haven't, like, gotten everything sorted out for us to actually be able to apply, and make the theory. But, you know, like, Ruby, I'm like, yes, like, here's all the Ruby content, and thank you guys in chat for the hearts, I do see those. Like, the Ruby, it's like, oh, here's this speculation, and here's this video essay, and here's a theory about Salem doing time travel. Like, Ruby is just one of those shows where there's so, like, just insane stuff. Like, there's just insane stuff to talk about all the time, it feels like. You know, obviously now it's hiatus, so now it's been a little dry, but, like, think about what the scene was like between Volume 8 and Volume 9. The end of Volume 8, like, the ever-after speculation. Why did Neo fall? What's going on with Jean? Did Yang die? Like, there was so much, like, speculation, and, like, I got so much out of that. But with other shows, it's like, other shows are just different. I don't know, maybe I just haven't found the thing that has a lot of theorizing potential. Maybe the other problem is that, like, Arcane, for example, like, I could kind of see it. I'm watching Arcane. The problem with Arcane right now is I need to switch the format, like I already talked about. I need to start doing them in the new format and whatever, but like, oh yeah, somebody just asked about Arcane, yeah, and so I think that like maybe Arcane will be that thing, but like, it's kind of like, Arcane is like in a, I enjoy this thing, but I'm not living in desperation. Like, with some shows, I'm like, I need to record this today because I'm so, like, I'm clamoring to find out what happens. Like, my entire life will be ruined if I do not watch Arcane today. Like, that's how I felt about Code Geass and Beastars and some of the other, you know, things. And so, yeah, it's just kind of weird. I'm in a kind of a weird, it's a weird little situation to be like, I like things, but this channel wasn't made because I liked things. This channel was made because I was obsessed with things. And, like, I'm not really obsessed with Arcane, right? And so it's gonna be hard to, like, find that next thing. And, like, it doesn't even need to be that there's a next thing, per se, because obviously Ruby exists. I think when Genshin, like, when I get caught up with Genshin, I'll really enjoy the theorizing. But, yeah, like, it's weird. It's weird to, like, you know how they say, oh, your mom put you down and never picked you back up, right? Or, like, and that sort of thing, like, eventually your parents, like, they put you down, and that was it, like, you're done, you know, and you never realized it, or, like, yeah, like, just that sort of stuff. It's like, that's how I feel. I'm like, is Ruby gonna be the last thing that I ever love? And I'm not gonna find anything else that I love just as much, because obviously, you know, I love Barbie and Disney and stuff like that, but, like, that's stuff that was from my childhood. Like, that was stuff when I was a little kid. I'm like, am I never gonna like anything? Like, I feel like as an adult, I have no new interests, which is kind of a scary thing to think about, is that, like, everything that I've ever loved is the same stuff that I loved since I've been a teenager and since being, like, a little kid. You know what I mean? Like, Kingdom Hearts, Persona to some extent, even though I was a little older. Like, it's interesting. Because I'm like, I don't think I've grown out of Miraculous, but, you know, and stuff like that. I don't think I grew out of Miraculous and whatever. I think that, like, you know, with Miraculous, sometimes there's theorizing and sometimes there's not. It depends on how caught up I am with the show. With Genshin, I think I will get invested as I keep playing, but even Genshin, I'm not addicted. You know, with Stardew Valley, I'm, like, addicted, which has absolutely no story. Which has no story at all. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that's what it is, right? I used to get addicted to things. Now I don't get addicted to anything anymore. Like, does that make me a more well-adjusted person, or does that make me depressed? I don't know. Like that, like, I used to have a more like, I'm gonna sit here and play this game for like 10 hours because I love it so much personality, and now I'm kind of like, yeah, I could sit on the couch and play Stardew for 4 hours or something. But yes, I'm not ignoring the chat, don't worry. I'm trying to think and read at the same time. I don't think I'll ever quit YouTube. No, I don't think that I'll ever quit. I think I will do YouTube probably past 50. Maybe it's not here. Like, maybe it won't be Calxiyn, but I feel like it'll be somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that I can't ever see me quitting. I can see me temporarily, like, you know, a lot of people, you guys may know this, I want to work on a cruise ship, right? And obviously, unless I really, like, get, like, I don't know, I guess the only way to do this, I've thought of, like, if, in case of cruise ship break glass, you know, plan, I guess what I would do in that case is I would pre-record for, like, the entire time that I would be gone on the ship, and then Arnold, or maybe even Robin, or somebody, like a trusted party, would edit, or, sorry, not edit, well, they'd have to edit too, but they would edit and upload and do the thumbnails for my videos every week while I was gone, and I would just pre-record, say, for example, you know, I don't know, like a really long show, and I just upload that really long show once a week until I come back, or something like that, like something, you know. So, I can definitely see that, like, there may be a time where it's like, okay, we have to take a step back, or we have to scale down because I have a real job, or because I'm literally not in the country, like, I'm just not here, you know, and so I can definitely see a scale back, but I don't think I'll ever stop because I've been doing this since I was 14, like, this is my, like, I don't even know what I would do with myself. Like, I think that, like, when people quit YouTube, it's always interesting because I was talking about, you know, I was telling that to my mom. I was like, because she was listening to this, I was watching a Mudahar video and she was there. And, you know, she was talking about, like, yeah, like, it's an unstable career path, of course, that people would leave. And I'm like, no, but you don't understand. Like, this isn't, like, MatPat is, like, a brand. Like, MatPat is not some random YouTuber that is getting a 9 to 5 or something. Like, he could have kept doing it forever. He just eventually felt like his priorities had shifted in family and all that stuff, and it was time to move on and whatnot, right? But, like, it wasn't about the money for him. I'm sure that he's like, I'm pretty sure MatPat is set for life. Like, I can't say that for sure. I'm pretty sure, like, depending, if MatPat is living even an upper middle class lifestyle, I'm pretty sure that he's good to retire. Like, that he can maintain that lifestyle, unless he's, like, out here buying, like, $1 million cars or like trying to go to the moon or something. Like, I kind of have a feeling that MatPat is set for life, right? So yeah, like, I think that, you know, with MatPat, it was never about the money. So, you know, when I think about my channel, I'm like, okay, well, there might come a day, and it might be next week, I don't know. Like, there's either gonna come a time where YouTube is not making enough money for me and I need a job, right? And so I'm like, I'm not gonna quit, but I'll probably, like, very much scale back. And, like, we're kind of running a skeleton crew of, like, we're only gonna watch one show that I really, really love and play one game that I really, really love, but otherwise we're kind of, like, skeleton crew until I get fired or until, like, YouTube starts to make enough money that I can quit my job, right? Or the cruise ship thing in terms of, like, yeah, I may, like, disappear, like, for, you know, a certain amount of months. But, like, yeah, I don't think I would ever quit, though, because, like, this is my hobby. It would be like if somebody made art and, like, will you ever quit being an artist? I don't know if you ever quit, you know? Like, I don't know if you ever quit doing, like, I don't know if you ever quit being a performer or you quit being an artist. You may retire, but that doesn't mean if it's your hobby, like, I don't know. Like, do you ever stop? You know? Yeah, trying new things is scary. What foes it for me is trying to try new things only to not like it, and I felt like I just wasted time. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm worried about, especially because, you know, for when you're just trying something, like, on your own, like when you're just, you know, on your couch and you turn on an anime and you don't like it, you just stop, right? But, like, with YouTube, it's even more stressful because, like, what if you get invested or, like, I mean, I guess it goes both ways. What if you spend time and money doing something and then that thing doesn't make money, or that thing, like, you don't actually end up liking it? Or it's like, what if you get invested in something and then you keep making videos about it and then one day you don't like it anymore? Oh, people are asking kids. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing too. Like, I could definitely see, you know, I know people have a lot of opinions about putting kids on, like, the internet and whatever. I would not become a mommy vlogger, all right? Like, let's just get that out of the way. But I do see, you know, a scenario where, like, I would love to have, like, my kids react to Kingdom Hearts 1. Like, and I play the game with my kids, right? In terms of, like, not, like, exploiting a child for YouTube content, but, like, when a kid's a little older, like, my age, you know, like how I was, you know, or something like that. And it's like, oh, well, this is a safe environment where I control the comments and I control everything and I do the editing and, like, they're not doing the work. It's just, like, you know, stuff like that. So that's what I kind of, like, that's what if you are seeing Grandma Calxiyn, like, on YouTube, or, like, Old Lady Calxiyn, like, that's what I'd kind of be thinking of, is, like, oh, yeah, like, the natural pivot, right, is for me to do content, like, with my kid, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that seems to be that's what I think of in terms of, like, oh, natural progression. That kind of makes sense to me. Like, even, you know, Arnold and I have talked about reacting to stuff together, right? And so, that's kind of one of those other things where it's like, yeah, that kind of feels natural too, to do some sort of couples reaction to, like, he's played certain games already, and I kind of have no interest in trying to beat them myself, like BioShock and stuff. Like, I don't know, there's a lot of games that have very interesting stories in their first-person shooters, and I don't like games like that, right? And so Arnold and I have been like, oh, we'll play Alan Wake and Mass Effect and, like, all that stuff, and then, you know, I'll react to the story, and then he just plays the game and, like, stuff like that, right? So, you know, I think that there's definitely natural progression of things. But I don't know, I think we're all gonna die before I quit YouTube, honestly. Like, all of us. Like, not just me. I'm just saying, like, everyone. Like, I think the world will end. I think the world will end before I'm 40. I think that I don't think that we are long for this world. I know that sorry to doom in the middle of our stream, but, like, you know, my mom's like, oh, you know, like, you and Arnold should start thinking about retirement and stuff, and I'm like, Mom, I don't think we're gonna retire. I genuinely think that by the time, like, maybe not Arnold being 40, because that's a little sooner, but I cannot see this world lasting that long. Like, I cannot see the world lasting that long, that retiring even matters anymore. You know, you gotta live the life that you have now, that you have right now, because nothing is guaranteed, you know? And so you have to go out there. That doesn't mean you shouldn't plan for the future, but, like, I have absolutely no faith, really, quite frankly. I have absolutely no faith. We're not gonna get that far. Yeah, so I will be here until the sun burns out and, you know, and the world ends and YouTube is not YouTube anymore and whatever. And so yeah, like, it's hard to think about the future, obviously, because, you know, something could happen and I could quit next week or something, but, like, I can't see myself quitting, and the only scenario I see myself, like, quitting, like, I never do YouTube again, is if I'm dead. Like, if I'm actually dead. Because even, like, okay, you guys may, I don't know, you guys may feel differently about this, but, like, sometimes, like, it may be, like, you're too old to be reacting to anime anymore, right? But, like, there's a certain, like, threshold here where it's, like, there's... How do I explain? There's, like, you want to see a grandma playing a video game, right? You want to see grandma reacting to anime. You want to see grandma playing Dark Souls. And so maybe those things won't be as unique as they are now, because obviously now they're unique because a lot of old people don't stream and don't understand technology like our generation does. But I feel like that there are, you know, there are parts of life that, like, people are kind of, like, interested in seeing that perspective. People want to watch, like, an old lady play, you know, Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing. And so, you know, there's also this idea of, well, you know, streaming is for, like, the young people, like, for, you know, I guess 18 to, like, 35. And then after, when you're, like, 40 playing games anymore, like, you're not that unique, because there's a lot of 40-year-olds. There's a lot of 40-year-olds out there, I guess. But I don't know. I feel like that as you get older and go into those different life stages, is just about how you rebrand yourself, to me. Like, because I can see this going from, like, okay, well, now it's me reacting with Hunter. Maybe one day it'll be, not that Hunter's out, I mean, I don't know. Hunter, I don't think will ever stop as long as I keep offering her to come over. I don't think Hunter will ever be too busy to like do an occasional thing. She may get too busy to do it all the time. Like she may get too busy to just come over whenever, but I don't think that like Hunter's ever gonna be like, yeah, Cal, like this YouTube thing, we had a good run, I don't really want to do it anymore. Because Hunter doesn't see it as work. She sees it as we're just hanging out, right? So I don't think Hunter even, you know, when Hunter actually gets a full-time job, it may be more difficult to schedule, but I don't even think, like, Hunter will necessarily quit. But, you know, so I'm not saying I won't react with Hunter anymore just because, like, say Arnold lives here and we can react together, but, like, the natural progression is, like, okay, well, we're individuals, then it's a couples react situation, and then it's, like, maybe we can get more into the, like, you know, either like, oh, our kids react with us, you know, older kids, obviously, or even like, yeah, like grandma reacts to this anime or something, and then you also have, like, with the other channel, I feel like the other channel, it doesn't really matter how old I get, like, I may visibly age, like, you guys may notice that I'm getting older, but, like, the other channel is ultimately, like, a music analysis channel. You can really be any age to do that, and I feel like it doesn't really matter, like, you know, I guess a lot of the idea is like, oh, well, you know, right now you're an attractive woman on the internet, and then you won't be an attractive woman anymore, but, like, I do not need to be attractive to do a music analysis. Maybe some people are like that's something that draws them in when I do anime reactions. Maybe they are like, yeah, that's a pretty girl doing an anime reaction. Like, maybe some people think that way, right? But, like, especially for the music analysis channel, I don't think that that really matters. Like, I don't think that it matters, like, what I look like on that channel as much at all. You know? Amarian has moved over to the Twitch chat. I appreciate it. I appreciate the shift to the Twitch chat. Did I reply about the Code Geass comment? About, like, I wish I could watch Code Geass for the first time again? Like, absolutely. Like, I think about that all the time. Especially because, like, not that my reactions weren't good, but it's just, like, this quality, other than microphone quality, like, in terms of visuals, this is probably the best that we're gonna get. So I just, like, I'm a little sad that my Code Geass reactions and my Full Metal Alchemist reactions are, they were recorded in a time of scuff, whereas, like, yeah, like, my audio's not perfect. I have a good microphone. I generally consider my audio to be okay, but, like, there are some issues with my audio, right? And so, yeah, like, I don't have a perfect setup, but, like, this is probably as good visually as it's ever gonna get. So anytime I'm like, oh yeah, I reacted to that anime or that game and I had the shitty setup, I'm just sad. You know, like Persona and Kingdom Hearts 3, you know, when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, I had a really bad setup and it was just not optimal. So, like, yeah, I think about that sometimes. I'm like, man, I wish I could replay Kingdom Hearts 3 again for the first time. Because, like, now I have this setup, right, where I have, like, you know, if I'm reacting to something, I have this screen on, whereas if I'm playing the game, I have myself and my camera being smaller. Like, I just record better now, and the quality, oh my goodness. Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear my tummy? Oh no. I'm hungry. We may have to end the stream soon because my tummy just rumbled very loudly. It was loud. I don't know if you guys heard it. It was loud. Atari. Chat is talking about a real Atari game from my dad not too long ago. I think I have an Atari. I have something that's like an Atari. I think. It's like, oh, I don't remember. The Sega Genesis kind of vibe, but I don't think it's an actual Sega Genesis. I think it's even before that. So maybe. Yeah, time to eat, guys. I know. I wish I could bring something down, but, like, I don't have any food. I'm sort of kidding. My mom did leave me with, like, a leftover. She left me with a singular leftover, I think, that I was supposed to eat, and then I didn't because I did this instead. I got a little distracted, right? But, I don't have something that I can bring down here is what I mean. But yes, Atari, they will think it's an Atari game from the old days. I mean, I hope that, like, you know, maybe this is naive of me to think, but I'm like, okay, well, by the time I have kids, I'm hoping that, like, I'm sure Kingdom Hearts will get ported on consoles forever, and, like, PCs will just work forever. Like, I feel like that we're in, I don't know, a better time in terms of game preservation, you know? And so I feel like that, like, nothing will ever, like, there are games that I love that I can't find anymore, and we can't emulate them, and they're just gone. I feel like that for Kingdom Hearts and Persona, I hope that'll never happen. Pizza! No, I had pizza a couple days ago. We don't have money for pizza. That's what my mom would say. We're too poor for pizza. Like, she's joking, but she's kind of serious. Man, that time of trailers and content leading up to KH3 was great. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm nostalgia for that. That's what nostalgia? I'm nostalgic for that. Like, that's what I miss. That's what I miss in terms of, like actually being hyped for something. I think, too, since the Smash Direct stopped, like, it just sort of, you know, gaming, not to say gaming hasn't been exciting. You know what I saw the other day? I said I wouldn't go on for too much longer. That was a lie. I saw the other day that they're like, oh, the PlayStation is in the latter half of it's lifespan. Which, like, yeah, that's an objective fact, I guess, because it's not brand new anymore, but there's, like, 5 games on the PlayStation 5. That's ridiculous. It's just nonsense, right? It's, like, nonsense, you know? Like, that it's already, we're halfway through its lifespan or whatever. Because technically, yeah, it's in the latter half of its lifespan because there's new and then there's old. Like, you can't be both. You can't be new and old. So yeah, I know what they were trying to say, but like the way that they said it was just so poorly worded that people were like, what? Like, what do you mean? There's no games. There's no games on the PlayStation, right? And so yeah, like the PlayStation is still, like, there's nothing happening, right? I don't even have one. Because the only thing that's on it is Spider-Man 2 that I want to play, right? I haven't played Spider-Man 2 yet, and I cry every night. But that's the only game, so I'm not going to buy a whole new console. How are you and Arnold? We're good. I mean, you know, he's not here, so it's like, that's not nice. But, like, we've been playing Stardew, so, you know, that's fun. I got mine, like, 3 years ago. Ugh, yeah, I know. No new console. I'm not gonna pay $900 for a new one. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's just no a new console in this economy. Like, and there's no games. There's no games on it. Like, if you didn't already have a PS4, like, if the PS5 was like you didn't have a PS4, I guess it's okay, because the PS5 has backwards compatibility, right? Question mark? I don't know. But, like, if you're upgrading, like, what's the point? Like, you know what I mean? If you already have a PS4, like, what's the point, bro? Other than Spider-Man, which, if I had, like, a lot of disposable income, like, yeah, I would buy a PlayStation just for Spider-Man. Like, I love Spider-Man. It's definitely, like, one of my favorite video games. But just, like, functionally, like, there's just, I can't justify that, you know? Let me skim the chat really quick and make sure pizza, we're making Cal starve, sort of. Somebody asked, I think, how long Arnold and I have been together. It's been like 5 years, I think. I think we're going on 5. I don't think we're 5 right now. It's hard for me to remember just because, like, you know, I just don't know. I don't remember. But, like, we're either 4 or 5, you know? So yeah, we've been together for a long, it's technically a long time now. We've been together since one of my years in university, so yeah, it has to be at least 4, but it's probably 5. 5 years, yeah. Oh my goodness, I don't know if you guys can tell, there's something, oh, you know what I had to do the other day? This is the other reason why, was it Friday? I don't know. On Friday, things were in chaos. The other reason why, wait, Friday was yesterday. Hold on. Thursday, one of the days of the week, okay? So, I don't know if you guys have seen the pictures that I post on, like, Twitter or Instagram of my house. You know what I mean? Of it, not inside my house, but, like, around my house or whatever, right? But we have this nativity scene that my grandfather used to build, and then my mom, you know, she rebuilt it now for this year. And so we had to carry the Percepio, the whole nativity scene. Okay, so, like, I can't even tell you, like, how big this thing was. It was at least, like, that table size, right? But it's not a table. Like, it's not grabbable. Like, it's constructed, like, it has buildings and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it has a foundation, but it was not, like, carrying a flat surface. It was, like, carrying, like, a piece of plywood that also had buildings and mountains and, okay. So we have to carry the Percepio, all right? Like, imagine the front door of your house. Of whatever house that you live in, right? But, like, through the front door, like, from the front door, like, through another, like, extension that we have, like, we kind of have, like, a greenhouse thing, right, at the back of my house. So, like, through the front door, through the kitchen, into the greenhouse, outside, and, like, we had to, like, lift it into the shed on this, like, very high sort of, like, attic situation in the shed, right? And my mom and I, we're both short. Like, my mom's shorter than I am. I'm 5'3" on a good day. Sometimes when I go to auditions, they measure me as 5'2", whatever. But my mom's 5 foot, right? So she's on the ladder, right? All, like, trying to, like, because we have to get high enough to be able to push the Percepio into the little loft, and neither of us are tall enough. So I'm, like, standing on my tiptoes, extending my arms as high as I can, trying to, like, get enough elevation so we can push it into the loft, even though neither of us can reach and we're both short, because we're trying to slide it in rather than, like, lift it up, right? And so it was just crazy. Like, it was just insane. Chat is saying that they're 5'8". YouTube chat, Jonesy is saying that they are 5'8". Twitch chat is saying that they are 13 and 5'4". I stopped growing when I was 12. So, like, I haven't grown since. Eat, Cal! I mean, at this point, I'm sure that you guys are just saying eat because my stomach is rumbling. But, like, I don't think eating's gonna help now. Like, I don't think I'm gonna grow anymore. I'm 24, I've stopped growing, that's it, we're done. But yeah, like, I've been the same size. I have clothes from when I was 12, and I still wear them, which is, I don't know. Sometimes it's kind of weird to think, like, that I've had the same clothes since I was 12 years old, and nothing, like nothing has changed, and I did not get any taller. I mean, I'm in a pretty good height for, like, auditions and stuff. Like, you don't want to be too tall, right? But I'm also kind of on the shorter side, like, especially for, you know, I try not to talk about the specific companies I want to work for, so I won't mention it, but, you know, there's a certain company that has characters, and they have character performers, and, you know, the female characters for this company, like, technically, like, there's some of them that are in my range, but, like, a lot of them are more, like, 5'5", 5'4", 5'6", seems to be better. So, like, I'm kind of on the short side. Like, I have a couple characters I can play, but I'm kind of, like, locked out of playing some of the other characters because I'm short. So I'm okay. If I was any shorter, I would have a problem. But yeah, like, I'm kind of in a good height, right? Like, you know, but, like, sometimes I am sad I didn't grow a little taller because I can tell that, like, you know, for some things it's kind of not good to be this short. Like, there are some, like, you know, for a different company that's not that company, there's some singing roles for some characters, and you have to be like 5'6" or something, and the maximum height is 5'9", and I'm like, okay, this character's not that tall in the movie. Okay, like, there's absolutely no way that character's, like, that's how tall they are in the movie. Like, this character's short, but I don't know, they want tall people. Because I guess if you look taller on stage, you look more like an adult instead of a child. So, you know, I'm a good height to play children forever, and some very short characters. But I'm not, like, it's a hit or miss sort of situation. Where I wonder if that's why it's hard for me to get roles right now, because, you know, once you get in, right? Like, once you get in, you're kind of good. But, like, right now, it's kind of just a little difficult because you're competing with all these people that are more versatile than you because they can play more characters than you because they're taller and they'll fit in the costume. So, yeah, it just is one of those things. Chat is saying, my doctor lied to me at school in the Twitch chat. Look not loading is saying that their doctor lied to them and said that they were going to be over 6 feet. That's so sad. I'm sorry. I mean, I knew that I was going to be this short because my entire family, like, we're Italian. We're all like this. I do wonder, like, sometimes I think about, like, Arnold and I's kids, because Arnold's really tall, so I don't really know how that's all gonna shake out, honestly. Like, I don't know. Arnold's, like, 6'1"? Yeah, I don't know. Arnold and I, we're not exactly 12 feet apart. Wait, 12 feet apart? That doesn't sound right. If I'm 5'2", Arnold's 6'1", But Hunter's 6'2", so Hunter and I are a foot. Is it a foot or is it 12 feet? I hate American math, like, measurements, because I can't remember if 12 feet is, like, one foot. I can't remember if 1 foot is, like 10 inches? You know what I mean? Like, I can't remember, like, what makes up the increments. Anyway, so, whatever. Hunter and I, Hunter's taller. We have 10-something between us, basically. You know what I mean? We have 12-something between us, whereas Arnold and I have one less thing between us. You guys can do the math. You guys know how tall people are. But yeah, Arnold's also taller than the fridge. And, yeah, he puts stuff on the fridge and I can't reach. And Arnold has, like, dishes in his house that in our house, they're, like, on a level that we can all grab with a stool, and Arnold has them, like, where I would need a ladder to get them, which is ridiculous. Oh, yes, hi, Shane. Shane Train is also saying that he is half Italian, and that he is also around the same height. I thought you were English or Greek. No, we're Italian. I mean, I have, like, I don't know, like, it's hard to explain, because I can't think of, like, the ratios, but, like, okay, so my mom is full Italian, right? My dad is not. So, like, I guess technically I'm half Irish or whatever, and then half Italian, but I don't really, I consider myself Italian, you know what I mean? Like, I have absolutely no connection to that situation, so when people ask, I'm not like, well, I'm Italian, but I'm also Irish, and I'm also whatever, because, like, if I actually had more of a connection to, like, my dad's side of the family, I'd be like, yeah, like, I'm Irish, but, like, that's never played a role in explaining my, like, particular, like, family or anything, like, or my identity, if you want to call it that, to anybody. Like, I was raised Italian, basically. You know what I mean? All of our cultural stuff is Italian, so there's not really any point for me to ever mention. Yes, chat is saying also Irish, French. I did take a DNA test at one point. I doubt that I could bring it up on the stream. Like, I feel like that would be a problem. I don't know. Like, I feel like I couldn't pull it up right now. But, like, maybe I'll post it on Twitter if I'm feeling generous. I don't know. But, like, yeah, like, I think that I have, like, from the DNA website, and, like, obviously this isn't super accurate or whatever, but, like DNA-wise, I have more Italian in me. I don't know. But, yeah. So, I obviously, I'm very pasty, and that's, like, the Irish side, but, like, I have no, like, all of our family traditions are all Italian traditions, all of our food is all Italian food, right? So, yes. Can you guys tell that my voice is getting a little tired for some reason? Like, okay, some people think that the voice that I use in my videos is fake. That's not true. Like, obviously that's not true. I just have like a good day, everybody. It's Calxiyn here. Like, I just have a bright tone. When I'm live streaming, it's a little bit more chill, right? And so, but, you know, I try to avoid doing like good day, everybody. It's Calxiyn here, like during long sessions. But now we're getting to the point where no matter how much water I drink, it's not helping. Yeah, chat is saying you're hungry. Drink, Cal. I may call it here, because, yeah, my voice is getting a little sore. It's also just one of those things, like, your voice is a muscle. I haven't talked to anyone in, like, 3 days. That's not exactly true, but, like, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, if you're recording for 2 hours after sitting in your basement and editing for 3 days straight, like, yeah, like, your voice is gonna get a little tired. So I think I'm gonna call it here. But thank you guys all for, sorry, I'm like slipping off my chair for some reason. I have these little, okay, talking about how short I am, I have, like, stools underneath my, my desk, because I can't reach the floor, so I am falling out of my chair. Anyway, so, yeah. I think we'll call it here. Thank you guys so much for joining. I was sort of scared. I was like, no one's gonna come, and I'm gonna look like a loser because nobody came to the Just Chatting stream. But, you know, during our has-been streams, there were a lot of people that were like, Cal, like, we want to talk to you. It'd be nice if we could talk to you without the show getting in the way. That was kind of the sentiment, right? And so I was like, yeah, I'm down. As long as you guys are here, like, I'm, you know, I'm happy to just sit and talk instead of like play a game or something. So I'm glad this went well. I am not a loser. I can tell my mom I made a money today. So we'll definitely do this again. Hopefully next time Hunter will be here. Hopefully next time Hunter will be around and we can have a little talk, right? And so I hope that you guys have a nice evening, have a nice night, have a nice day. You know, if you just came in, obviously you can rewatch the VOD, but yes, I'm going to chill. I'm gonna go have a little snack. Maybe, I think Arnold and I we'll probably play Stardew, but yeah, next week we'll get back into our regular scheduled such and such, right? And so I think this was good. This helped me a little bit, like my heart. You know, because I was a little like, oh my god, Has-Been is over, what are we doing with our lives? And so yeah, now I feel a lot better about, like, what we're doing in life. And what we're doing moving forward. And, like, it's not a disaster, everything's fine. So yeah, I feel a lot better. This was a good stream to do because now I feel like I have clarity on, like, what does everyone want? What do I want? What do they want? What do we all want? So yeah, I think that this week will probably be a lot more smoother. I will get back to Little Goody Two-Shoes and probably Genshin. I don't know if I'll add a third game, you know, because we don't want to do too much too fast. But yeah, now that Has-Been is over, we will start to do things that are different. And so yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. I will see you guys later. I don't think that there's anybody for me to raid right now.